Comfortably.
Guys, we've got company. Anyone expecting a silver freak?
Drop it, scum.
Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies, Nursing Bully. My host Leroy, aka Remember the Time Robocop shot that dude in the dick, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka I'd buy that for $1.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. You know.
Hey, I had another one. I had another one in mind, but since you did that,
No. Do it. What would you win it? What was the alternative? Because that was my alternative right there.
Yeah. Hey, Victor Von Doom.
Oh, okay.
No one knows what that is though, except a select few.
Okay. I thought you were gonna do another Robocop thing, because I was gonna do bitches leave. But anyway.
Oh.
Shout out to our female recruit. I think we're at 8% right now. So hello, ladies, in our female demographic. So
welcome.
So, and also I forgot, shout out to also me, Eli, and the AI.
The AI.
Yeah. Like I said,
doing all our work for us.
Exactly. We got to honor them. So yeah. So like I said, we actually had no show. Well, we had a show we were gonna do, but we were just gonna talk about a bunch of bullshit. We're still going to talk about a bunch of bullshit.
That show was going to be lame. That was going to be a lame-ass show. Oh, shit.
No, well, hold up. I'm
not supposed to say lame anymore. I just learned lame as an ableist word. I'm not supposed to say it. Sorry.
Eli has been canceled. So,
yes, I can't say the word lame. Even though I have a daughter with Down syndrome and I've been involved with the disabled community for many, many years, I just made aware that the term lame is ableist. So, my apology.
So
I'm learning.
We always learning new stuff.
We try to do better.
Yeah. That's all it is. As long as you just learn, okay, it's a thing. Now you got a bunch of people that get pissed off and stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to do that, not going to do that. Like, that's on you. But yeah, we're all learning. So yeah.
But that was a shitty show.
But see, that's the thing, because you're setting us up now, because this show was completely changed because we had a bunch of people die. So then we had to change the show up and kind of like fill that up. So yeah. So we got to do our due diligence. Yeah. So we got to pay our respects. We got to do due diligence. Now let's start from the beginning. So first, this one night, like maybe a few hours before we start doing, we're going to talk about Suzanne Summers. Now, we know who Suzanne Summers is. We some old motherfuckers. For the younger people that are listening to this show, they may not know who Suzanne Summers is. But Suzanne Summers is a lot bigger than you think she was. Yes, you probably maybe heard the name, maybe heard a thing like that, but she was actually had a bigger impact than you think she was. Now, first off, we all know, like I said, if you're our age, you know who she was. She was a 70s sex symbol, sex icon, whatever you want to call it, like that. You know, she was on the hit show Three's Company. You know, and she was one of the most popular people on the show. I can think of a few reasons why, you know, but that was the reason she was so popular on the show, because yeah, like I said, bombshell, you throw it on prime time. It's the 70s. You got 3 channels on there. What you expect? So it's going to blow stuff like that. But here's the thing about the show, about Three's Company overall, is that she was the lowest paid person on the show at the time when it came out. But meanwhile, she got all the fan mail. When people were sending fan mail, people were requesting. Anytime she happened to have an episode where she showed up in lingerie, it was the highest rated episode of the show, of the season. So things like that happen, and all of a sudden she wanted, like, hey, since I'm getting all this fan mail, ratings are clearly, you know, shouting out to me, why am I not getting the same amount of money as John Ritter, you know, the male character on the show? And they thought, okay, you're fired on the spot. Now, they didn't fire her on the spot. If you watch the 5th season, I think, of Three's Company, she wasn't on. What they did is that she was on the last 5 minutes of every episode, and they did that until her contract ran out, and then they fired her and just replaced with another blonde, and they replaced her with another blonde. I was not aware of that. Yeah, that was the thing. You watch it, you'll see it. So if you want to know why she was on just the last 5 minutes of this episode, that's why, you know. Yeah, but she got her revenge because in the 70s, yeah, they kicked off the show. She couldn't go anywhere. That's when the 80s came. Eli, I got 2 words for you. Thigh Master.
That's right.
We know about the Thigh Master.
I totally forgot about that until you
right, because it's an 80s thing. It's an 80s thing.
Said that.
Yeah. Everybody had a Thigh Master. Everywhere you go to somebody's house, they had a Thigh Master. They didn't use it. They may have used it once or twice, and that was it. But yes, but apparently she made like 300 million off the Thigh Master. So she made more money off that than she ever would have made off network TV. So in the end, she got the last laugh. So shout out to her. And plus, basically, she was like one of the first actors on TV to ask for, equal pay. Now, it bit her in the ass at the end, but at the same time, she opened the door for other people to get equal pay in it also. So, yeah, so shout out to Suzanne Summer. Also, another thing about Suzanne Summer, she was on another show I like that nobody seems to remember. And maybe it's Mandela Effect, something like that. Eli, do you remember She's the Sheriff?
I do not.
Nobody remembers this show. I'm the only person who remembers this show. It was right before Mama's Family. It was that show. She's the Sheriff.
I do remember Mama's Family.
Everybody remembers Mama's Family. Everybody loves Mama's Family. This show came right before Mama's Family. So I don't know. I don't know what it was, but yeah. So shout out to Suzanne Summer. Like I said, when you look at it, she was a legend with the stuff she did. Like I said, first woman to ask for equal pay. First woman to use, like I said, she was a sex symbol, but she turned it into, money. So nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So we got one more person. We got to go to.
Well, good journey to her.
Yeah, good journey to her. So we got one more person. We're going to talk about Keith Giffen. Now, like I said, this is a comic thing. If you don't know about comics, you have no idea who Keith Giffen is. But as far as the industry, about what he did in the industry, he is a legend. He did a lot of stuff. First off, he is the creator of Lobo. He is the creator of Rocket Raccoon. He created a bunch of other people also. I'm forgetting them off the top of my head. But he created that seminal run of the Justice League. Because the thing was, DC was actually done with the Justice League in the 80s. They were like, we're not, because Justice League was like one of their lowest selling books. They had like folks like Vibe and Gypsy on it, and Citizen Steel and Aquaman. They were like, what the fuck is this, man? Cancel this shit. Nobody gives a fuck. So they were just done with it, And then he brought them back, and they had this run, the run that everybody knows. This is the run where Batman punched Green Lantern in the face, knocked him out one punch. So he had that run, created a bunch of new characters from that one. And all of a sudden, the Justice League is now selling again, one of the best-selling comics. Also, he was like one of the first ones to put like humor in superhero books. Not like, because normally it's separate. You got your humor books and you got superhero books. Because the Justice League book he was writing was funny. It had a bunch of jokes and stuff like that. They was all interacting with each other. It wasn't like super serious like the Fate of the World, but at the same time, it was serious also. So it had a lot of stuff on there. But that's not why I'm doing this, Eli. He also wrote one of my favorite crossover runs of all time.
Oh, yeah?
Annihilation.
Oh, no shit.
He did Annihilation. Annihilation to me was the best crossover run of 2000. I know everybody loves to suck Civil War's dick and Age of Ultron and all other stuff like that. No, Annihilation was where it was. Annihilation was a game changer. If I don't recommend nothing else to anybody listening to this podcast, go read Marvel's Annihilation. They had like 3 spin-offs and sequels like that. Read all of it. That is a good. Yeah. That is the Guardians run to read, or like. It's like their space saga thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was never familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy comics. I'm just not well versed in cosmic Marvel lore, but that one was that's a pretty cool run to read.
Right.
For the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. I mean, but like I said, anybody that's in space thing of anything, they were in that book. The Guardians pretty much was formed in that book. Nova shows up. Nova was just gone, and all of a sudden he just showed up in this book, and he was like the most badass person in the universe. Who else showed up in this book? Thanos, like one of the best Thanos stories, because Thanos was just evil as fuck in this book. Just doing shit, Like I said, just go read it. It's awesome. You'll love it. If you don't like it, I'll give you money back of whatever you paid for on this podcast, whatever. So I think we're good to have. So like I said, we run through a due diligence, did that.
The money that they paid for the book or the money they paid for the podcast?
Money they paid for the podcast. That's what
okay. There you go.
There you go. You'll get that money back. So
I'll pitch in. No.
You'll pitch in. you'll get a no prize. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next thing we got over here now. Oh yeah, now we got the box office results. I got to go before you this one. Like I said, it's October, so we gotta see what's going on in the theaters box office. Like I said, we haven't done this in a while, but I thought this would be a good one. So give it to me. What do you think? You're not gonna guess it. You're not gonna guess it.
I don't know. I heard Saw.
Okay.
New Saw movies.
Here's what I'm gonna give it. This is the #1 movie of the week. Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour.
Oh, gee, I didn't even know that was.
It almost did 100 million. It's one of the highest. It's one of the highest top 5 movies this year, like opening weekends.
Did not even know.
Yeah, she didn't release it. Yeah, your girl, she's up there just making money left and right. Like I said, putting NFL on the back, doing everything. So yeah.
I guess, yeah.
So that's the thing, like, Eli. That's why I know we live in two different Americas. Like I said, I don't know where to find a Taylor Swift song from. I don't know where people are seeing this stuff from. But I just looked at the box office because I looked at them every weekend. I'm like, 100 million? What the fuck? Matter of fact, they had to put signs out to tell people not to sing during the movie. The movie is 3 hours long. It's a Snyder cut. Yes. Damn. Yes.
How long she said she actually has that much material?
Right. I don't know.
I used to work at a club.
Yeah.
And I saw tons of live bands and shit.
Yeah.
And my rule was don't play over 20 minutes unless you got 2 good albums.
Right.
2 good albums.
2 good albums.
Yeah. Or your Slayer or something.
But that concert or whatever this thing is she got is 3 hours long. I'll be like 2 hours and 48 minutes.
Wow.
Still long enough, but still. So yes, apparently she has that much music to put out there and just do that the whole time. And yeah, and this is just the opening weekend. Like, this is bigger than any Marvel movie, any DC movie. Taylor Swift has killed everybody. So real cinema, Taylor Swift. So my thing is this: why couldn't she wait one more week and drop the week after? Because if she dropped the week after, she could have dropped on the same week as what's that? Killer Moons in the flowers of the Killer Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
That movie. Oh, Scorsese. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if they would have dropped at the same time, and then he could have did cross promotion. Taylor Swift, Killers of the Flower Moon, Taylor Moon. Boom. There you go. Both movies gonna make $1 billion right there. There you go. So I know Scorsese would love having this movie attached to Taylor Swift, but yeah. All right, so that's all I got there. Oh, it's still on me. Damn. I should give it to you, but I think I'm gonna stay on me for a second because I want to give you enough time to just go off when it's your time. All right.
Okay.
So. All right. So now, like I said, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna just jump into the video game section just off the top. We're just gonna do that. I played a game. Well, I played a demo. I feel like that. I played a demo. Apparently, there was a demo of Robocop Rogue City. Okay. Now, Eli, here's the thing. I didn't know that this game, I didn't know the demo. The demo has the first 3 levels. It's going to take you about an hour just to beat the demo. It took me about an hour and a half. And that was just me kind of like screwing around, just doing stuff, But yeah, you will be there and you'll be playing this game for a while. Let me see. I'm going to just give you some gameplay footage. Like I said, this is me playing. I got everything turned down. So what do I think about this game? Well, what I think about the demo, just for the little bit that I played. So Peter Weller is voicing this. He's voicing this right now. So Eli, don't worry, he'll be back. So he's voicing this, and I don't like about it. Now they got other people from the movies in this one, but I don't know if they were like actually on it. So he's voicing it. He's doing the whole Robocop thing. You got the Robocop music on there. OCP is in there. So it does feel like you're in the world of OCP. Now, if you can see, it's a first-person shooter. You got all your Robocop things. You can't duck. You can't run. You can't slide. You are Robocops. You just this big, slow-ass lumber motherfucker just going through and just shooting everybody that you can see. I do like the mechanics of it, the physics of it. So, like when you shoot, it's got a whole bunch of grenades that like blow up walls and buildings and stuff like that. So you got all this stuff on the game. It actually has a story mode to it. Robocop is kind of like freaking out because he can remember Murphy and stuff like that. The city of OCP don't know if he's capable of doing it by himself. So all this stuff is in there. If you're trying to see where the game takes place, is between the first game and the second game. So between that, So that's why his partner Lewis, she's still in the game, even though she died in part 3, but she's still in the game. Not voiced by the original actress, even though the original actress is still alive, still kicking out. She took a picture with Peter not long ago, but she's not in this. But all the OCP people are in there. That is also, it's got kind of like it's more of a first-person role-playing game, because you can actually like do police work on this game. You can actually like give tickets. You can actually like find crime scenes, and you actually have to like do detective work in this, like kind of like in Batman, we had to do detective mode. All that is in this game also. As far as like the graphics, you can tell this is not like a AAA game. This doesn't have the graphic levels of Uncharted or what's another game that came out. Whatever like the highest graphic games you think of, it ain't that. It's kind of like middle of the road. It almost looks like a last gen game, but as far as like personality and stuff they put in the game, you can tell that they put a lot of love in the game for what they were doing. So I gotta appreciate them for that. So, yeah, I think that's all I got. Eli, you still there? Are you gone, or I gotta talk more about this? It's cool. I'll wait till they get back. I'll talk more about this. All right. So, like I said, he doesn't really have too many moves, but he does have a lot of moves. Like you can grab people, throw them out the window. You can pick up like a fire extinguishers, throw them and blow up buildings, stuff like that. So he doesn't have grenades and stuff like that, but he can like use the environment around him to get stuff. So I like that. Like I said, he still looks choppy and stiff like that, but it's Robocop, what you expect. So of course it's going to be like that. So let's see. And that, like I said, that's Lewis. She's in there, but it's not voiced by the original actress. And yeah, that's all I got to say about this game. Like I said, we just move on past that because I can keep going. And you can pick up other weapons, like you got machine guns and Uzis and stuff like they pick it up there. I didn't make it far enough to get to Ed 209s like that, but I'm almost certain that Ed 209s, all the folks are in there. So that's cool. So I expect that.
Yo.
Yeah, are you there? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Excuse my kid in the background. Sorry.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, but yeah, that's all I gotta say about the game. Like I said, the game comes out in November. The demo is just on PC right now. I don't know if they're gonna release a demo for the other consoles, but will I get it? I don't know if I'll get it. This may be another game I'll probably wait for. Because honestly, I think if from what I'm seeing about this game, I think it's like a $30 worth game. There's no multiplayer. It's just single player. It maybe had like some side quests like that, but it feels like it's gonna be like a pretty much straightforward game. So yeah. That's what we got there. So hold up. Let me get you set up. Let me get you set up, Eli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, this is move on to the next part of the podcast. This is, am I right where I need to be at? Let's see if this is it. Yeah. Eli's House of Horror, Minute of Mayhem, Mutant Massacre.
Super happy fun time show.
Right. All right. You're good.
Okay. So this is since it's October, it's spooky season. I figured every week I'm going to share a couple of movies that I like to watch to get me into Halloween spirit. And this week's picks is one of them. Hey, it's Freddy versus Jason. Now,
nice.
honestly, this is one of my favorite movies, horror movies. I can watch this anytime, but I do like to watch it around Halloween too, because it's just a fun movie, you know? And I'm killing two birds with one stone. One stone, two mangoes. It's Friday the 13th weekend. You know,
a Friday the
13th in October. So that's rare. So yeah. So I watched this over the weekend. Shout out to Donut Scary Movie Night. He had a screening of this the other night, and we watched it. A lot of fun, getting us into spooky season and celebrating Jason weekend as well. And this is just like I said, I like what makes this a cool Halloween movie for me is we have two horror icons in one movie. This is like, you know, Dracula versus or the House of Frankenstein. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, like the Universal crossover movies of yesteryear. Classic monsters coming together, you know, almost like a comic book heroes, you know, comic book characters. So
and I think this is the highest grossing movie of either franchise, I think.
Yeah, this was a long time coming. These were two 80s slasher icons. They were talking about making this for a long time, and they finally did in 2002. And this is just a cool. I'm a big fan. I was actually a fan of Freddy. Freddy was a rock star in the '80s, and Jason was hugely popular as well. I mean, Jason Friday the 13th movies kept Paramount on the map for a long time. You know, they just kept pumping out movies, and they made a lot of sequels. And then Freddy was just as popular in the '80s, and his movies were like events. Every time a Nightmare Now, every year it was like a horror event. You know, it was like Saw or Scream. You know, that's how Freddy was a rock star. He had comic books, TV shows, merchandising. He was hugely popular. So yeah, that's just how it was in the '80s, before the internet and all that stuff. This Freddy was huge, and Jason was as well. But here's Freddy versus Jason. They put two of them together in one movie. It celebrates both franchises. It expands on both franchises. And what I love about this movie is how it basically gives Jason a backstory. Like it expands Jason's backstory, and basically he becomes like a tragic figure. He's a tragic character. You kind of feel bad for Jason. He's kind of an innocent.
He's almost like the hero of this story.
Yeah, he's almost, the less, because Freddy's just a straight up asshole. Freddy's a fucking asshole.
So they had to give you somebody to root for, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I just love this movie. It's a whole lot of fun. I think it's all directed by Ronnie Yu, who came from Hong Kong. He directed a lot of kung fu movies before he came to America. If you guys ever get to see Bride with White Hair, it's awesome. It's a classic. Great martial arts movie, wuxia, basically based on an old, Chinese fairy tale, fantasy kung fu, people flying around and all that cool Mortal Kombat shit, And then he came over to the United States and he made Bride of Chucky before he made Freddy versus Jason. So this is very well directed, So
almost action movie. Very well, that's what you say he came from Hong Kong. It's more action movie than anything else.
Yeah. The kills are cool. The fight scenes are like, it's basically Freddy versus Jason is like a wrestling match. They're like doing wrestling,
right?
So just a whole lot of fun. I always loved this movie. It's one of my favorites. And the next movie, before I move on, do you got anything to add? I know you said you like this.
I'm trying to think. I think I had some, but it just left my head a second ago. No, like I said, awesome movie. I love watching it. It was the last time Robert Englund got the chance to play Freddy. So I think like live action Freddy, they didn't get Kane Hodder to do Jason. And I think they had a dumbass reason why they did, and I can't remember why. He was too tall.
Well, the guy they got actually played in one. He had a bit part in another Jason movie. He actually was a stunt double in another Jason. I think it was Derek.
Okay, so it wasn't like a brand new guy. It was a guy in another Jason movie. Okay,
no, he had actually played him, and then it's kind of a stupid reason. Yeah, it is a dumb reason why Kane Hodder, didn't get the call. But yeah, but this guy did good too.
He did. Yeah,
and this is just a well-made horror movie. Seeing Jason and Freddy. Well, for one thing, Friday the 13th movies, I know they're trash. They're just, they were just cheaply. They were made on the cheap. They never really had a script. They were just kind of making shit up as they went along. There was no like deep lore or mythology going into Jason. They were just like, let's have teenagers go in the woods and get killed by a guy in a hockey mask. That's basically every movie. So there wasn't like this big high artistic value. I will say Jason Lives is probably one of the best directed Friday the 13th movies. That's a very meta. It's got a lot of self-referential horror. I also inject a lot of comedy into Jason Lives, Friday the 13th Part 6. It's shot very well. It's got like a cool gothic atmosphere, and Jason Lives is a really well directed Jason movie. But other than that, they are most of them are just cheaply made. They're just made to pump out money, cheap as possible, make them as quickly as possible, because they were coming out like every year in the 80s. That's why there's so many of them. And Freddy movies, I think, are better made because Freddy, his story, like he dealt in the night in dreams. There was a lot of dream sequences. So I think
Right.
Freddy movies, because they were so popular, they had bigger budgets, and I think they also gave directors a chance to like highlight their skills and be experimental. And so you have a lot more, like, the filmmaking is better in Freddy movies just because there's more creativity. There's more, directors were just given like free reins to just be creative and be experimental with all the dream sequences. So yeah, Freddy's movies are a bit like, artistic wise, yes, they are above par cinematically as in Friday the 13th movies. But this movie, Freddy versus Jason, is very well made. Like I said, Ronnie Yu makes awesome, shots, the atmosphere, the lighting, everything is really, like, this movie looks really good.
Now I do gotta
really
say
cool
this.
horror.
Yeah, I do gotta say this. Did they invent a weakness for Jason in this movie? Like, was that a thing before? Like, what is his kryptonite?
They never really, no. They like, he was scared of the water. Yeah, that was just something they made. Like I said, this movie expands the Jason mythology.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So yeah. But like I said, this is just a lot of fun. And it's like two horror icons coming together in one movie. Just a fun movie. And
I can't imagine anybody that hasn't seen this movie. So, but if you haven't, definitely watch this movie.
Yeah. And if you notice with the movies that I've been picking, the movies that I've been picking, they're kind of fun.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Okay. I think, just my opinion.
Go ahead.
I think Freddy versus Jason paved the way for BVS. I think it gave them the idea. I think it gave them the idea for that. Yeah. Yeah,
to have like horror, like it's like I said, it's like a comic book movie.
Pretty
before
much who will
Marvel
fight,
was
who
a
will
thing.
win.
A crossover
like
comic book flick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before the Avengers.
It really was. Yeah, it kind of paved the way. Like, oh, we can make money doing this shit. Okay.
Yeah. And if you notice, like I said, that these movies that I'm choosing, they're fun. They're fun. Because when I think of Halloween, I think of fun. People getting together, hanging out, and watching fun movies, And that's what I like fun horror movies. I'm not into these new modern day emo. I call them emo horror because they're all about
elevated thriller.
Yeah, trauma and someone's always grieving or going through depression or kicking addiction or some shit. Like, it's always this sad. The character's always sad and bummed out, and these movies are just not much fun to watch. So I'm just, I'm getting kind of, like I said, I've been calling these movies like Hereditary and Midsummer and The Lighthouse and these just, the Babadook. They're just kind of bummers to watch. They're like just, they're not much fun. Like, yeah, I'm into like these fun movies where it's like you get together with a bunch of folks and you watch a movie, you have a good time, you laugh, you hang out and have a good time. I mean, yeah, if you throw a horror movie party and you throw the Babadook or Hereditary, that's a shitty fucking party,
Right.
Like, who wants to get bummed out, So yeah, I mean, that's just not my thing. I like to have fun, especially with horror. I like fun horror movies, and Jason versus Freddy is a fun horror movie. So yeah, and on to my next one is The Monster Squad. This is a childhood favorite.
Right, your first non-R-rated pick on here.
Yeah, this was PG-13. That's right. This came out in the 80s. Caught me by surprise. When I saw this in the theater, I thought it looked kind of cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up seeing it in the theater, and then I was like, wow, this is pretty solid. Like, the effect, Stan Winston does the effects. There's some pretty brutal scenes, some pretty cool. The monster effects are up there. It goes pretty hard for being a PG-13 movie, which is why I always liked it. But this is also one of my favorite genres, and this is just because I came up in the 80s. The little kids or children fighting big giant threats like the Goonies, the Lost Boys, Monster Squad, Explorers, kids doing in dangerous situations. There was a lot of like that's what we have with Stranger Things. That's why I love Stranger Things so much. You know, it showed kids just facing these great odds and overcoming them. You know, and they were a reflection of the time. I mean, us 80s babies, we were kind of left alone a lot to fend for ourselves, you know? So we were in a lot. We survived a lot of danger in real life. So then our movies kind of reflected that. And that's why you have the Monster Squad, which is about a bunch of kids who have a clubhouse, they have a tree house, and they're horror fans. And they end up fighting Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and then Frankenstein shows up and he ends up becoming their friend. So this is another fun, you know, story, kids versus monsters, you know, and with some pretty solid effects and some pretty brutal scenes for a kids movie. So yeah, again, what makes this is a Halloween favorite of mine is it has all the classic monsters in it. Like I said, Dracula,
all the
Frankenstein,
Universal
the
monsters, and
yes, the creature from the Black Lagoon, So this is just another, you know, favorite of mine. I love this flick. Again, I can watch this anytime, but it is one I like to pull out during Halloween.
And then you told me this wasn't even a Universal movie. That's why I wonder how they got all the Universal monsters in there, and it's not a Universal movie. So
yeah, well, that's why that's why they had to change the designs on some of the characters.
Gotcha. So like Dracula is public domain, but he can't look like
he can't look like Bela Lugosi, you know,
right?
Or look at the creature from the Black Lagoon. He doesn't have like that classic look. He actually looks
I don't even think they
like
called him the creature from the Black Lagoon.
They just call him the creature.
They just call him the creature, right? That's how you got away around that. So
yeah, the creature stole my Twinkie, you know. And the Wolfman doesn't look like Lon Chaney, you know what I mean? Yeah, so they basically changed the character designs to get around that, you know. So yeah, like I said, this is just another favorite of mine. I love this flick. Love watching it during Halloween, and yeah, so there you go.
Cool. Yeah, horror, House of Minute, Mutant Massacre. Tales of Terror. Damn it! Why am I thinking about this now? I need to write this down. Okay, that's the next time. All right. So let's move on to the next part of the podcast. Like I said, we just jump into a list of comic book bullies where we talk about comic books. And Eli, I'm gonna let you jump into it first, see what we got while I get set up over here.
Okay, let me see. I will do Blade number 4. Marvel's. This has still been dope. So Marvel's got a dope ass Blade book right now. So yeah, this new Blade story. Blade is after this 5,000-year-old demon that's trying to take over the world. He's teamed up with a demon slayer chick and his ex who sells exotic weapons. And then Doctor Strange shows up in this one to help them. So Doctor Strange portals them onto a train where they get a hold of Lucifer's sword to basically hopefully kill this demon. And that's all this book is them on the train slaying vampires. They're like those rippers from Blade 2, the Strigoi with their mouths open up and shit. And yeah, so Blade ends up getting to the sword, but the head vampire guy's there. And Doctor Strange's like, okay, Blade, give me the sword. He's got the portal open. Give me the sword. And Blade's like, nah, man, I'll take care of it myself. He's like, Blade, don't do this. You're gonna. and Blade's like, nah, man, I got this. And basically does not give Doctor Strange the sword. So he's gonna do it himself. Blade,
are they gonna fight it out?
Blade's gonna do it himself.
I mean, are they gonna fight it out or what?
And that's basically where it says to be continued. So this is just action packed. Yeah, well, yeah, they're gonna fight. Yeah, he's basically gonna use that sword to go slay that demon. You know,
gotcha. Okay.
And that head vampire guy was working for that demon chick. So yeah, so I think the next issue is the last issue, so that's where we're gonna have the final showdown. But yeah, this has just been cool. This has just been a lot of fun.
Not last issue, last issue, right?
I don't know. I know it's the last issue in this story arc.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if this is an ongoing series. It would be cool if this stays ongoing because this has been a great book.
Right. Like, why would you stop it? We got some good going like this. So
yeah, as far as the story arc, this has been really cool. Yeah, this is the last issue, and it's been really cool. So yeah, so this is a 4 out of 5. I'm still on this, still digging it. So really cool story, really cool art. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. I know you're gonna do it later on, but all right. Yeah, found it. Okay, cool. Well, first book I'm going to do is Sandman. Now, yeah, this is like an old school Sandman book. So this is not the Netflix Sandman. This is not the Spider-Man villain Sandman. This is Wesley Dodds, the Golden Age from the 40s Sandman. It's that Sandman. Basically, I think DC is going to make a whole bunch of books where they're just doing like a whole bunch of old school heroes. It's telling like back in their heyday, back in their prime. So this is like set in the 40s. So yes, let's talk about Wesley Dodds. So the Sandman. So basically the book is kind of like giving you a crash course into what is the Sandman. Basically the Sandman, he doesn't have any powers really. He just has a gas gun. He just walks around with a gun and just sprays people with gas. But the different gas he has is different chemicals. So sometimes it puts you to sleep. Sometimes it knocks you out. Sometimes it might be tear gas. Sometimes it might make you hallucinate. Sometimes his gas might give you nightmares or whatever he wants the gas to be. That's power. And I guess he does have one superpower. His power is he gets dreams or nightmares. He gets nightmares of things that may happen in the future. That's power. But only when he dreams. Now, we don't know what that is now, but we find out later on, like in DC lore, they actually got that from the Netflix Sandman. The Netflix Sandman kind of put those nightmares and dreams in his head. But basically, like whenever somebody about to get killed, somebody about to get hurt, he gets a nightmare about it or a dream about it. But he just get an image. So since he's a detective, he got to use clues to put all that together. That's Sandman. Okay. So anyway, moving on past that. So basically, he's in his basement. He's just like every other 40 superhero. He's rich. He's a millionaire. Got a butler. He's got an underground cave. He builds gadgets. That thing. Yeah, he does that. So what is he trying to do? So what he's trying to do is he's actually trying to sell his gas to the war. He's trying to sell his gas to the government so they can use in World War II. Because if you use non-lethal sleeping gas, you can just put these guys to sleep, and you don't have to do so much murder and slaughter and everything like that. And you just put them in jail. But the military captain just like, why would we want to do that? No, murder is cheaper because we put them to sleep and we ain't got rooms for jails. We have few cases like that. No, it's just easy just kill everybody. So let's just slaughter each other and just be done with it. So that's the thing. So that's what his thing was. He was going to use that, and then he just decided to go to a party, kick it with socialites, stuff like that. I do like the art because the art has like this 1940s golden age feel. So I did like the art going on in that one. And then they got a little Easter egg in here where this is before he becomes a member of the Justice Society. So he meets Rex Tyler, who is Our Man. Our Man is another thing. I'm not going to get to it right now, but this whole point right there. So he decides to leave. He's tired of the party. So he leaves the party and he decides to go shut up people. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So he decides he finds somebody robbing somebody, just beat the shut up, and that's it. So, and while he beats at him, here's a fire truck. He decides to jump on the fire truck right with them. And when he gets to the end of it, they go to his house, and his house set on fire because while he was out there partying and beating shit out of people, somebody came in his house, robbed him, burned his house down. That's it. So that's the story. Yeah, that's Sandman. Like I said, it's more or less just like a crash course. This is a very simple golden age 1940s book, crime noir type thing. That's what this is. That's what they're trying to be. I'm cool with that. It's simple. Get in, get out. It's not metaphysical about where his dreams and nightmares come in. They may come down the road, but right now we're just trying to get to the nitty gritty of it. He beats the shit out of people, and he wears a gas mask. The end. So
okay.
Yeah. So what you got?
My next book will be Capwolf and the Howling Commandos #1.
This is obviously like Elseworld or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is like, this isn't canon. And they even explained that in the beginning.
Right.
That, hey, we know for all the nerds that are going to come after them saying, like, actually, Captain America wasn't turned into a werewolf until blah, 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 blah. And they're like, but this takes place before that. So shut
I
up.
have that issue, Eli. But yeah.
Yeah. So they actually explained that. Before y'all start bitching. So yeah, but this is great. This is like my book of the week. This was just dumb, stupid fun. Basically, it takes place in World War II.
Mhm.
Captain America teams up with the Howling Commandos on a mission to go investigate a Nazi laboratory or something, a Nazi base.
Right. So the Howling Commandos is Dum Dum Dugan, Nick
Mhm.
Fury. Is that the same Howling Commandos we're talking about?
Yep. And Nick Fury gets injured in the battle before this.
Okay.
So it opens up with like the Howling Commandos fighting Nazis. There's a big tank. They're getting overrun by a tank. Then Cap shows up and single-handedly takes out the tank. But Nick Fury gets injured. So they say, hey, Cap, you lead the Howling Commandos to this Nazi base where strange things are afoot. And they get attacked by werewolves. And they're like, what the hell? And then Cap ends up getting scratched by a werewolf. And at the end of the book, he turns into a werewolf. The art is dope. It's really fast paced, a lot of action. And I realized that this is an ongoing miniseries. I thought this was a one shot.
Like one shot.
So,
now they gotta keep this going. So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really stoked that it is a multiple issue story arc, because I thought, they're just going to be, because like a few weeks ago, there was that Werewolf at Night book that I read, and it was just okay. And that was just a one shot where they, like Werewolf by Night and Elsa Bloodstone team up and they go fight evil. And it's just a quick one shot story. It was okay. It was fine. And it's just, it's October. They're trying to, cash in on the horror craze. And that's all about, it was pretty forgettable, it was fine. But yeah, they're actually taking their time with. They're actually building a cool story arc. Like I said, Cap doesn't turn into a werewolf till the very last page. So I like that build
at the beginning of it, or he didn't just morph into a werewolf in the middle of the page or nothing. But yeah,
the werewolves don't even show up till like the end of the book. So yeah, I thought that was cool that this isn't a one shot, that they're going to take their time. There's some cool shit where like Dum Dum Dugan doesn't like Captain America. He's like, hey, this guy's. He's like, hey, no, we don't want Shield Fury. Fury, he's mad because Fury is injured and he can't. He's like, Fury's our leader. Why is this like phony ass fake super soldier who takes too many risks and that'll get us
bright
killed.
colors and stuff and target on his back and
he just jumps into battle because he's got all these superpowers and all these abilities and he can take chances we can't. He's going to get us killed. Like, why are we following this guy?
that has been a topic of discussion. Like, okay, Cap, why don't you wear like camouflage or some shit like everybody else does? Why are you wearing these bright ass big colors where everybody can just see you and make yourself a big target? But I don't know. He always got some kind of reason, because I am a symbol of freedom and whatever. Okay.
Yeah, and they kind of make fun of, like, Dum Dung actually makes fun of. So shouldn't you be at home selling war bonds? But yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, this is really cool. Like the werewolves are really cool. Like this is just a cool horror superhero book, that I had a lot of fun with, and I'm on board. I can't wait to read the next issue. So yeah, I'll give this a 4 out of 5. Fuck it, 5 out of 5. This was great. This was a lot of fun. Okay. Yeah.
So Capwolf is back. Okay. So next book I'm going to do, like I said, it was a light week for me, so I just had to scrounge of what I could. I'm doing Amazing Spider-Man number 35. I haven't stuck with this book in a while. Good news, Eli. John Romita Jr. has been off this book for a while. So that's blessing in disguise. Oh, not that. What was it? Nope, not there. Not there. I can't find it. Not there. I don't have it. It don't matter. Screw it. I'll put Capwolf back on there. All right. So what is the story going on right there? Okay, so you see that it's Spider Goblin. It's kind of misleading on this. Basically, some weird shit's going on in the story where Peter Parker has been infected with Norman Osborn's sins. So he's evil now. So any like evil little bitty thought he's had, they all become violent. So He doesn't like Paul. He's trying to throw Paul off a bridge now. That's the story. So let's get to it. All right. So if all that, this is just prelude of that new story arc they're going on, Gang War, where Hammerhead is going after, who did he say? Black Mariah and Mr. Negative and Diamondback and Crime Master. They're all gonna fight next issue. Nothing to do with this. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, so Spider-Man is evil now. Matter of fact, he's black suit Spider-Man, so you know he's evil, you know. And this is the Queen Goblin who infected Peter Parker, but she was trying to infect Norman Osborn. And that's punk ass Paul right there with a man bun, because now he knows.
Is that the guy that banged her and had kids or whatever?
Yes. So
okay.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man's coming to kill him right now. and that's when Mary Jane's are like, run, he's coming after you. So he smacks Queen Goblin, and now he's out of control. He's like, Paul, a word? And Mary's like, get the hell out of here. He won't attack me, but he's coming after you. So, and that's when because Paul gave Mary Jane powers. So now her name is Jackpot. So you got Jackpot powers. And you're like, you're not going to hurt me. You're like, no, I'm coming after him because he took something from me. You're like, no, he didn't take anything from you. I'm a grown woman. I can do what I want to. We're like, okay, well, I'm coming after you then. Okay, so right before he's about to go at Mary Jane, just going to smack the head by Queen Goblin. She blasts him. And she's like, Peter Parker, I didn't mean I blast you by accident. I was trying to get Norman Osborn. But if you keep this up, I'm going to have to kill you. And he was like, nah, that ain't happening. So then Mary Jane like saves him and shit like that. And she's like, get away from Peter Parker. I know he's freaking out right now, but nobody touches him. And then Peter's just like, okay, no, but that's still not gonna save you, Mary Jane. We're gonna have to even this up. I'm gonna hurt you. So to hurt her, he webs up Paul and grabs Paul and takes Paul up to some high altitude area, stuff like that. He's like, any blast words, Paul. He was like, well, whatever you're gonna do, Peter, just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and drop me. You're like, okay, and drops him. So yeah. So while doing that, and then Kraven the Hunter shows up. Kraven the Hunter is the one that infected him and shit like that. Peter, Spider-Man like beat his ass in like the last issue and left him in a grave with a shotgun, like the same thing that Kraven did to him. Matter of fact, this isn't Kraven. This is Kraven Jr. The Kraven that did all that crazy shit to him back in the 80s, that Kraven died and never came back. So yeah. And this is the spear he's going to use to suck the sin out of Spider-Man. But until then, and Mary Jane rescues Paul, so Paul doesn't die. Damn it. So, and she's just like, just stay here. And Norman Osborn shows him. She's like, don't worry, I'm gonna end this. And Mary Jane, it was nice knowing you, but I've got to end this once for all. So that's when Kraven's just like, I got this spear right here. I'm gonna suck the sin out of you. And because you're not acting normal right now, you got Norman Osborn sinning you. You're like, and Spider's like, well, come on, just come at me. And that's when Kraven just like rips off his shirt and jacket and doesn't even have the spear, and they just go at each other. So Spider-Man beats the shit out of him again. Like I said, the second time they fought in like the last 3 issues, so like that. So apparently Kraven wants to thank Peter for what he did to him, for like burying him in the grave and leaving him in there with a shotgun. He was like, I want to thank you because I always thought I was going to go with my dad, because what happened at the end of Kraven Last Hunt, spoiler alert for anybody who hadn't read that 40-year-old book, Kraven takes a shotgun and shoots himself in the face.
Has it been 40 years?
Damn near, close to it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, I am old.
So that what happened with this. So yeah, so that's what happened in that book. And so Kraven Jr. always thought he was going to go out the same way. Like he was going to just take himself out. So the fact that Spider-Man buried him and left him in there with his father's shotgun, and he didn't take it somehow, he wants to thank him for like giving him clarity. You're like, so now I know when I die, it won't be by my own hand, you know? So that's when he grabs him and he's like, I offer you salvation. So why he doing that? He holds him long enough for Norman to stab Peter and suck all the sins out of him and into the spear. Or did it? But anyway, Peter's back to normal. So, and you know, he was like, I didn't mean to do that. And he's like, I didn't mean to go after Paul. It wasn't me. She's like, I understand. Anyway, she goes back to Paul and they leave. And they think about, meanwhile, Queen Goblin is laughing at Norman and she just flies away. And that's it. And Norman just telling Peter, look, everything you did, you didn't mean to do it. Just get some rest, take some few days off, clear your head, then come back to work. Because he still works for Norman Osborn. He's still on the payroll. So Peter decides to put on, he ditches the black suit, puts on a regular suit, and you get this awesome panel right here. Like I said, John Romita Jr. can't do this. Meanwhile, Norman Osborn is sitting there reminiscing with everything he did. Like he sucked the soul out of Peter and put it into the spear. And Craven took the spear and buried the spear, whatever. But while he's doing that, there's a voice in his head. Say it. You know, I am. He's hearing a voice somewhere in the room. And then he looks down. It's the goblin. The goblin's back. Like he looks in the reflection. It's the goblin. And then he starts laughing. He's like, uh-oh. So he thought he was done with the goblin, but the goblin's not done with him. The end. Or the end, you know. So, yeah. So the next issue is going to be all that gang war shit.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first few pages of this book was setting up that storyline. Okay. So, yeah. So you're going to see all that. So, he didn't kill Paul. Score. 1 out of 5. So.
Okay.
Had he dropped Paul and Paul would have died 6.5 out of 5, but he didn't do it. So he didn't follow through. So yeah. That's what I got. So
all right. Well, I will do Earthdivers number 11. This is written by Indigenous horror author Stephen Graham Jones. It's his ongoing comic book creator-owned series about time-traveling Native Americans from the future, where a Earth 100 years is pretty much inhabitable, and they find a time portal in a cave that takes them back to the past, and they decide to change history by killing Columbus because they say the colonization of America is what led to the world's downfall. Yeah. Well, killing Columbus didn't work. Neither did going back to the Ice Age. And now this is a brand new story arc. This is Earthdivers number 11, 1776. So first of all, it starts out with a recap, which is really nice. There's like a couple pages where it recaps. Because
they say it's kind of like a jumping off point, like if you haven't been.
Yeah, it gets you caught up. It gets new readers caught up on what's been going on, on all thus far. So we pick up with this two-spirited woman. Two-spirit is the Native American term for people from the LGBTQ community. So she goes back to 1776 because, hey, killing Columbus didn't work. So they're going to try something new. She's going to basically infiltrate the founding fathers. And she goes back to Pennsylvania the day before the Declaration of Independence is being signed.
July the 3rd. Okay.
Yeah. So she meets Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson, I think John Adams and stuff. And of course they're like, oh my God, it's one of them savages and she's a woman, but get her out of here and shit, So she ends up killing a guy and taking his clothes. So she's going to pose as a man and infiltrate the White House, I guess, or the government, pose as a man by posing as a man and somehow alter the course that she even says killing ain't going to change history. You got to, if you want to take out America, you got to do it in ink. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, and I chose this page because it says, she's going through the lines of the Declaration of Independence, how meant equality for all and all this shit. Meanwhile, you see the natives got smallpox and then slaves and, yeah, all men are created equal except,
right.
So yeah, that's what's been going on. I still get confused on, because it flashes back and forth between the past and then what's going on in the future, 100 years into the future. And that gets a little confusing. But other than that, I still like this idea, just the, Native Americans trying to change history to, because they've had a shitty go of it. So yeah, this is a 4 out of 5. Yeah.
All right. Keep it going from there. Well, at least you got a jumping off point, so we can kind of go from there. So,
yeah.
I'm glad they did. I'm glad they didn't change the name of the book. I'm glad they kept it. Earthdivers didn't change, because I saw 1776 on there.
Yeah.
But I guess each arc is different because it was kill Columbus.
Yeah.
Then 1776.
Kill Columbus,
okay.
and then it was the Ice Age. That was the second arc, and now it's 1776. So
Okay. So it's kind of like it's almost like an anthology
yeah,
within itself. Okay. I'm with it.
but all the characters are related. Like they all know each other. Like this girl knows Tad, the guy who went to 1492 to kill Columbus. And
kind of feels like Sin City.
I guess where they're all kind of intertwined. They all know each other in a way.
They all know each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
but
yeah, they all know each other, and they all know what they're all doing. Like they're all trying to do the same thing. So like whenever someone goes back in time, the people left back in the present or the future or whatever are wondering if it's working. So and that gets a little murky. Those scenes get a little murky. But
I mean, it sounds like a lot of moving parts going in there. But
there's a lot. It gets a little convoluted at times for me, but it's still like I like the premise. The premise is what keeps me interested. So, and learning and just going and learning history, and like I said, Stephen Graham Jones is really good at like getting in characters' heads. So hearing their thoughts and just this Native American gay woman's take on history is kind of funny and sarcastic, and
right.
you know what I mean? Hearing that perspective is kind of refreshing and amusing, so yeah, 4 out of 5.
Okay. All right. So last book I'm going to do is Green Lantern #4. Like I said, I was scraping the bottom of the barrel with stuff I could find. So yeah, but that's
why I fell off of this. I was reading this at first. Now I fell off.
Yeah.
I think it was Night Terrors. Night Terrors is what did it.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, they don't care about Night Terror. They don't mention it. They don't say anything about it. It just felt like it never happened. Just,
like all the DC books I was reading, I like stopped reading for a couple of months, like through the summer because of Night Terrors. Now they're all back, and I'm like, oh shit, oh yeah, Green Lantern.
Right. But the thing is, all the books that went away and came back, they picked up exactly where they left off before Night Terror. So Night Terrors never happened, basically. It's I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, Flash in the book. So yeah.
Okay.
So the brave and the bold. So yeah. So and the funny thing about it, Eli, this actually kind of picks up. Well, I'm gonna get to it. We're gonna go to it because there was some stuff you were saying the last Green Lantern book that we reviewed, where you said was that Sinestro in the back chilling in a bar. Yes, it was Sinestro in the back chilling at the bar.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, because the funny thing about it. Like we saw that in the first issue, so the other 2 issues were about other shit, not about this. So now they're coming back to that storyline. So now we're here. So Sinestro finally shows up saying, "Hal Jordan." He was like, "I'm here, Hal." So he like, "What the hell you doing in my town?" So then he like forms like a sword, like underneath. He was like, "I'm gonna run you through." He was like, "No, you're not gonna do that, because you do that, I smuggle some thought bombs in here with me." And I placed 3 of them all over the city. So if you kill me, I'm going to think and make these bombs explode all over the city. Your city's gonna be gone again, just like it was back in the 90s. So he like, so put the sword away, and I won't blow up the city. You're like, shit. Well, so what do you want? Basically, what he wants to have Jordan's ring. You're like, yeah, I want your ring so I can get off this planet. You're like, well, what do you need my ring for? Why don't you call up the Legion of Doom or some shit like that and ask for like a boom tomb or some shit? So now we're starting to get to the nitty gritty of the story, is that apparently Earth has been quarantined by the United Planets. It's like this intergalactic planet thing. Yeah, they're like the United Nations planets. So basically, no aliens in or out. Aliens can't come into Earth. Aliens can't leave Earth. And that's why Sinestro is stuck on Earth right now, because United Planets are like monitoring everything he's doing. But he's saying if I get that Green Lantern ring, I can find a way off this planet that they don't know about. So just give me the ring. I'll leave. You won't see me again. So he was like, okay, you can take the ring, but it's not going to work. He's like, nah, don't worry about that. I'm Sinestro. I trained you. I'll make it work. So he takes the ring, but the ring doesn't work because apparently it's not a Green Lantern ring. So nobody can work it but Hal Jordan. So where this ring came from, we don't know. It's just a thing. So Sinestro said, well, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to blow up the city. And he leaves. So like, it's on a timer. So you got 2 choices. You either stop the bomb or you chase after me. And then he just teleports away. You're like, oh, shit. Well, I'm not fast enough to catch you, but I know somebody that is fast enough to catch you. And boom, that's when you get the Flash. Barry Allen shows up. And he just like, look, we got 3 bombs all over the city. I need you to find them. And I got this construct I made that's like this sonar beam. The closer you get to it, the vibration will go off, and it kind of like guides you to where the bombs are. So he takes it and runs off. But the thing is, Hal has to keep the construct going while Barry is moving at that speed, because if he lets that construct go, Barry won't be able to find the bombs. So he's all over the city going like that, and the construct kind of fading away, but he found it, throws it in the air, and basically Hal has to find a way to keep the construct going while Barry's looking for the bombs and pull up another construct to eat the bomb. So he makes a shark. So, but he's like having a hard time. He's like, Barry, you gotta hurry up because I'm losing concentration. So if you don't do it, we won't be able to find the bomb. So he finds other 2 bombs, 3rd bomb, throws them in the air, hands and applause, claps them, blows them up. That's it. So that's it. And you got this not so awesome panel right here. I think they wanted to be awesome. Pointy. It's not giving the Predator vibe like they was expecting, but it's cool. So they're looking for Sinestro, can't find Sinestro, and that's when Green Lantern's like, look, I know I call Barry, I know I call Flash, but I need Barry Allen right now. So I need his skills. So they decide to go to Ferris Airliner and find out what's going on. So they find out that Sinestro is using alien technology, not from his planet, but from another planet. So obviously somebody is supplying him alien weapons to do all the crazy shit he's doing. So obviously somebody else is working for him. And that's when Carol Ferris is there. They meet Barry, they exchange. Like, yeah. They haven't seen each other in a while, so yeah. And that's when they get an alert that it's another bad guy going around. So it's 2 things going on. A tornado and a meteor shower is going on in Los Angeles at the same time. So they both say it's major disaster, a villain that they both dealt with in the past. So Barry goes for the tornado. Hal goes for the meteor shower because that's what they do. Hal makes a pool stick with a cue ball and he shoots it and it blows up all the meteors at the same time. And they find major disaster and Hal blinds him. And that's when Barry goes over there and like punches him in the face, like so many times and so fast he didn't even realize he got hit, and he just falls like slump, just falls over after he realized he got hit. So they just catching up. He like, man, Nightwing started Teen Titans take it over. They basically better than Just League now. Wally had another kid. We're getting old, man. But that's when they realize that they think they know what else is going on here. They think they know where Sinestro is. And the book ends with Carol Ferris drone airlines activating by themselves, and they fly off, which we think is caused by Sinestro. Sinestro might be doing that. So, yeah, that's the book. So, pretty easy breezy, old school, Brave and the Bold, get in, get out, have them teaming up and do whatever. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, what else you got?
I'm pretty booked out. I did read that New Wolverine was pretty
the
fun.
one with he team with Captain America, like
with
back
Captain America,
back in World War II. So yeah.
No, it was actually modern time.
Oh, why did I think
it's still that war? Not was it Fall of X or whatever?
Fall of X. Okay.
And there's like
because Cap is with he's leading an X-Men team. Why is it? Did he try to recruit Wolverine?
Yeah, him and Wolverine go on a mission to go retrieve mutant weapons or mutant tech that's being auctioned on a ship, and they just go there and kick ass and take the shit and give it to Fury. Pretty simple one shot, team up. Yeah, that was about it. I mean, I read Star Wars and a few other books, but yeah. I figured this is gonna, to keep it so we don't go so long, I'll keep it as 3. And we'll do like This Geeks and Comics.
Yeah,
my top 3, and then honorable
top
mention.
3, then another honorable mention 3, and then
yeah.
Like I said, I'm booked out also. Like I said, if you listen this long, definitely subscribe, listen more than 30 seconds. We appreciate you. This is a short show, get in, get out, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have given you plenty of epic hour and a half, 142-hour shows. So just take this easy breeze when you'll survive. So next week, what am I gonna do? So next week, I think the Spider-Man game drops. I'm not gonna buy it. I don't even have a PS5. But I find a way. I always find a way. And I'm thinking whether or not I should review Forza. I think I will. Or not.
I don't even know what that is.
Racing game.
Huh?
Yeah, racing game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like yeah, Gran Turismo, you got Forza, so yeah. I may or may not. We'll see. It depends on how the move going. Oh, that's the reason I decided to do it. I appreciate everybody for jumping into my Robocop stream. I had the most live streamers I had at one time.
I was
18.
watching for a little bit too.
Were
I
you?
could not
I
comment.
appreciate you.
Yeah, I could not comment because it was wanted me to register or some shit. I'm like, I thought I had a thing. I don't know.
What?
But
okay. Anyway,
yeah.
but
I saw you playing.
Okay, cool. So I appreciate all 18 of my viewers. So biggest I ever had. But like I said, but next week, like I said, I'm gonna do some Spider-Man stuff, and we'll kind of go from there. Eli, I'm gonna just ask you. I think I know your answer, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Are you going to watch Killers of the Flower Moon?
Not right. I mean, it's not in the theaters. I know. I think once it hits stream, I'll eventually see it. Yeah, but
okay, but not next week.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Whatever.
That's
whatever happens, let me know.
Again, like that's kind of. I know I should. I'm obligated to see it, but damn.
Yeah, that's what I kind of wonder. Like, can you not watch that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, do I want to see another native sob story? I don't know.
Right.
I'm kind of tired of that, but I'll eventually see it.
Okay, I was wondering because here's the thing: if you were going to see it this week, I was going to watch it.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna bring it, but if you're not, then I'm no. If you don't see it, then I'm not gonna see it. I'm gonna watch Spider-Man. But yeah, we'll see what happens next week. But until then, it's Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet.